Man, the celebrity world has been on fire lately. We've seen everything from shocking PDA at the Palm Springs Film Festival to some serious defiance on the red carpet. But what happens when a star's good deeds get called into question? Well, we're going to unpack what's really going on behind the headlines.
So what is the real story with these viral moments? Are we looking at carefully planned PR stunts? Is it genuine raw emotion? Or is it, something way more complicated in between? We're going to break down 3 major stories that have had everyone talking. First up, we need to talk about the public display of affection from one of the most talked about and, let's be real, most unexpected couples in Hollywood right now, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. Then we're going to get into a moment of pure rebellion from an artist who has never been afraid to make a statement. Yep, the one and only Miley Cyrus.
And finally, we're going to dive into the controversy that just keeps growing around one of Hollywood's biggest A-listers and his environmental activism, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, you ready? Let's get into it. We'll start with the power couple, then move on to the rebels' comeback, and we'll wrap it all up with the activist's paradox. First things first, let's talk about the couple that basically stole the show at the Palm Springs Film Festival. After months and months of speculation and rumors, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet finally made a very, very public appearance together. So let's paint the picture for you. Kylie was there supporting Timothée for his movie, Marty Supreme, and they were not hiding. TMZ reported they were holding hands, they shared a quick kiss, and they had at least 3 security guards with them the whole time. But the real kicker? Timothée dropped orange heart emojis on Kylie's post, which is reportedly their first social media interaction ever. But here's where this story gets a little juicy. Just a few feet away from their table was the leader of a huge Timothée Chalamet fan club, someone who has been very publicly critical of Kylie. I mean, talk about an awkward situation waiting to happen. So this fan group is called Club Chalamet, and they are a major force in his fandom. The leader has apparently even given Kylie the nickname Slurpee, basically accusing her of just using Timothée for publicity. But to be fair, the fan did report that there were absolutely no issues that night. And this really gets to the heart of the debate, doesn't it? It's a question as old as Hollywood itself. Was this a genuine date night, or was it a perfectly calculated PR move? This comment from social media kind of says it all, capturing that skepticism that this whole relationship might just be for show. Okay, so from a relationship under the microscope to a star taking back control of her own image, let's talk about a very loud and very clear statement made on the red carpet by Miley Cyrus. So picture this. Miley is on the red carpet, posing for photos, and the paparazzi start yelling at her, demanding she take her sunglasses off for their shots. Just shouting, no glasses, over and over. And in classic Miley fashion, she does not comply. Not at all. Instead, she just calmly puts her sunglasses right back on her face and tells them, if you yell at me, I do the opposite. What a simple but powerful way to set a boundary right there in front of everyone. But her attitude wasn't the only thing that got people buzzing. Fans could not help but notice her new look, specifically the bangs. The resemblance to her iconic character, Hannah Montana, was just undeniable, and it got the speculation machine running wild. The fan reaction was, you guessed it, immediate and pretty intense. Comments just like this one flooded social media. So many people are convinced this is a deliberate tease for a Hannah Montana revival, especially since the show's 20th anniversary isn't too far off. And if you want more fuel for that fire, there's also her recent physical transformation. So Miley reportedly had her veneers redone. For a while, some people thought her teeth were a little too big for her face. But now she's got this slimmer, more natural smile that looks a lot like her younger self, and, well, a lot like Hannah. It's this fresher, younger look that has fans totally convinced she's getting back into character. Okay, now for our final story. Let's dig into let's call it the very complex and controversial image of one of Hollywood's biggest stars, Leonardo DiCaprio. So while all this was happening at the Palm Springs Festival, Leo was noticeably absent. The official reason? Unexpected travel disruptions. But here's the context. He was on a New Year's trip in St. Bart's, hanging out with a whole crew of billionaires, including none other than Jeff Bezos. He did send in a pre-recorded acceptance speech, though, and in it, he got really passionate about the importance of cinema, saying that movies are still meant to be experienced together in a theater, and that we have to protect that communal experience. But And this is a huge but. Where was this heartfelt speech about communal experiences filmed? Well, social media absolutely lit up with reports that it was shot from the deck of Jeff Bezos' private mega yacht, pretty much the symbol of elite exclusivity. The irony was, well, it was not lost on anyone.
And this one incident really tapped into a much bigger criticism that people have had about DiCaprio for a while now. This idea that there is a huge disconnect between his public persona as a climate activist and his private lifestyle.
And this is really the core of the whole paradox. On one hand, you've got his public work, speaking at UN climate summits, funding massive conservation projects. But on the other hand, you have his private life, which draws a lot of criticism. Partying on these gas-guzzling mega yachts, flying in private jets, and backing luxury developments. For a lot of people, these two sides just don't add up. So you see, whether it's a public kiss, a pair of sunglasses, or a pre-recorded speech from a yacht, the one thing that connects all three of these stories is the insane microscopic level of scrutiny that celebrities are under today. Every single action is picked apart and interpreted by millions. Which leaves us with one last question to think about. In this modern age of fame, is a celebrity's public image a carefully crafted performance? A series of genuinely chaotic moments? Or is it just an impossible tightrope walk somewhere in between?